Welcome, and we're back playing Creative Minecraft, and it's the second episode of our Christmas series I'm doing. And this time I'm going to be doing a Christmas tree. So come with me, my friends, while we build a tree. So we're going to be building this Christmas tree. Now I've set up this base here and kind of a rough circle, not an exact circle at all. I'm going to be building it in the middle of this circle. So I'm just going to put another height here. I just wanted it raised a bit because this is going to be the center point of my town. So this is going to be a big Christmas tree, towering above almost everything I have in this town. So I'm going to have it on a little plinth, and I'll decorate around the outside of the tree as well. We'll try and make this a nice centerpiece for the town. It should be lovely. So here we go. Just going to be building up a little bit more here and then getting on with the tree. So before I go any further, I just want to apologise for not bringing out any vlogs this week, or it'll be for the next at least 10 days. I did plan to do some, but unfortunately COVID has struck my household and we're isolating. So I won't be going anywhere, but it means I'll be doing some more Minecraft. So don't worry, more vlogs will be coming soon, Christmas ones. But until then, you'll have to get put up with some Minecraft and maybe a couple of other games I might throw in there. But we'll see how bored I get. But you can't get very bored when you're playing Minecraft. 10 days is no time. So enjoy the Christmas videos. I'll probably be doing a video from new 1.18 update. Maybe a hardcore series. I've been looking forward to doing one of them. So I might do that as well, get that started. We'll see how it goes, but I will be back soon with more vlogs. But here we go. Let's start with the Christmas tree. So what I do is I get myself some spruce logs, the ones that have all the 6 sides done, just so there's no doesn't look like it's cut when I place these down. I think that's the best thing to use to build your tree. I start off by building obviously the trunk of the tree, and I do it 3 by 3, so it's 9 blocks on the bottom, and just build it up. I'm going to bring this in a little bit as we go up, but I'm going to go quite high, as you can see. I've speeded up some of this, but I wanted to show you my process of actually doing this. I bring it to a decent level, and then I decide I'm going to do it with the center one, bring it to a height that I want to do it at, and I think that's high enough, and then just bring the edges round. So the corners I'm doing a bit lower, and the sides I'm going a bit higher, as you can see. So this is going to be a side, so I want it to go nice and high. Don't want it to be all the same heights. I want it to be a little bit staggered, although you're not going to see it inside. It just kind of helps you get a good feel of the tree. And then on these corners, I'm having these a bit lower than where the edges are. So just getting a rough look of how I want this tree. And once I've done that, I'm just going to put a few bits where roots may have come out. I like doing this. It kind of gives you a good base for a tree. I like doing it when you've got a big tree. Just putting a few roots down, like it's really bursting out of the ground. Yeah, it really gives a good look to the bottom of your tree. So I'm just going to fill in a few bits and pieces, nice and random. You don't want it too uniform. And there. That's good enough. No one will really see much of this, but it really gives you a good feel of your tree if you're going to be doing this. And the reason I just don't go ahead and build greenery on the outside of the tree is I want to build up that shape as it would do naturally. So I build up these branches first before I start putting in the leaves. Okay, so let's start with the branches now. Um, like once again, going to keep it as random as possible, but I'm going to bring a few out from the tree, keep it as random as I can, and I'll just adjust little bits as I go around. So just going to throw it around, poke it out, have sort of branches coming off. I don't want them going up and down too much because the look of the tree is going to be like a Christmas tree would come out as branches all on one level. So they wouldn't go up and down so much. It's just doing this rough look of the branches in a random way. So this is going to come out a little bit more here, and not nearly finished there. And we'll get a good look from the top to see how I've done this. And I also like to stand back and get a look. You'll notice this on all my builds. That almost looks like a snowflake. So that's kind of a good look to go for. Think snowflake, um, and that's a good look. So we'll just move straight on and build up the other branches in the same way. But always remember, keep bringing it in a little bit every time you go up a level. Bring it in a little bit more just to get that cone shape. Having these branches there to start with will really set you off, so you get a good look of when you bring in the leaves, and it'll make it a lot easier in the long run, I think. So quick fast forward to the second layer, and there we go. As you can see, it's stepped in a bit. It's not Nothing really wants to go past the layer below, um, and that's fine. We'll carry on to the next one. Keep with your random aspect, remembering you're not going to come out any further again next time. And there we go. It's still got all that almost snowflake feel, which is a really good look to have, and it'll really help when you're putting in the leaves. Okay, and on to the next layer. So it's really quite easy. You're just doing lots of random branches coming out in this little snowflake feel. And once you put your leaves on, it'll be so much easy to put those leaves on afterwards. I stepped that up a little bit there, and I'll step one down, just so it's not all the same. Things don't always grow uniform in the natural world, so it hasn't always got to keep things the same. But yeah, I'm just gonna put in some random shapes here, or random branches coming out. And the further you up you go, the less branches you need. Almost at the top here, going to go up a little higher. That's fine. A big tall tree is fantastic. It'll make anything look better. The bigger you make things in anything in Minecraft, they look better. The bigger they are, the better it'll look. The more detail you can put into things. I think that's probably a bit too far there. Sticking out too far. Gone a bit too crazy. Uh, that's pretty much as far as I want to go. I think that's going too far again. It's losing that shape of things going in. It's going to have to come in a little bit. There we go. That should be pretty much the final piece going in there now. There we go. Just going to put a few there. There's the top. Obviously, yeah, there we go. I have to take out some of that. I probably should have took out a couple more blocks, but that's fine. That's quite nice. Got these layers built up. This bottom one can come out a little bit more, just to give it a good full effect at the bottom. And that'll work nicely. And you can do that. Take a stand back from your tree. think what could do with changing, and that'll go nicely. So now I'm putting in the leaves. As I built up this tree, I found the best way of doing this is doing underneath first. Do underneath and just follow the branch and just basically randomly throw in your leaves around your branch. If you miss some spots, it doesn't matter. You can either fill them in if you want them filled in later, or sometimes it looks good just to have some blank spots. So don't worry too much about filling every single part and just go trying to cover the whole tree. Just randomly throw in some bits around a branch, and having some spaces here and there will work nicely. And it'll also help when you're coming in to doing the decorations. So I'm just going to let you follow me doing this leaves on the bottom layer, and then I'll just fast forward to when I've done everything, because it's all pretty much the same. And now we get a bit of a day look. So yeah, we'll just continue doing this. Yeah, and while you're watching me do this, I'll just talk about some more things I've got planned for this series. The Christmas town. I don't know how much is going to be a town, or how far I'm going to go with it. I've got lots of plans, but how far I go, I don't know. It might even roll into next Christmas. Who knows? Let me know what sort of things you'd like to see in this Christmas town. I asked before, and I had a few good ideas of like a winter wonderland, put in a sleigh, and yes, I will be doing those things. But next video, I am going to do an ice rink. I've already built it, and I think it looks great. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that one, and that'll probably be out in a couple of days, seeing as I'm not going to be doing vlogs for a few days, for a week, over a week now. So that'll come out pretty soon as part of my Christmas series I'm doing. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you think I should do for this Christmas town. I think I might just finish off with an ice palace, something my sister has built. I've never actually seen her ice palace, so probably a good thing, because I won't get any ideas from her. I won't steal ideas from her. I'll do my own thing, and yeah, it won't be an Elsa palace. It'll be something completely different, but yeah, I'll just do what I normally do and freestyle it. But that'll probably be my centerpiece of this whole thing. Probably there's going to be a Santa workshop and a Santa house, and fill up a town more of a lots of houses around. I won't show you building every house, but I'll do lots more gingerbread houses and some other houses. If there's something particularly nice that I've built, I might replicate it and show you on a video. But yeah, I won't show you building every single house. But if you do spot a house in a later video and say, show me how you built that house, then let me know. I'm always quite happy to do videos that people think would be interesting. And yeah, I hope to accommodate people as to whatever they want to see, kind of thing. So yeah, just let me know. We're just filling up this tree. It does take a bit of time just to get things right, things not sticking out too much. I try and keep no more than 2 blocks away from the branch, just to keep that shape nice, so you don't go too far. A couple of odd bits sticking out here and there is fine, but yeah, just try and keep no more than 2 blocks away from a branch of leaves, blocks of leaves I mean, and it will kind of work well then. And this is pretty much nearly finished. Just got to do this branch around here, fill in this, and that's pretty much done. There we go. A bit more there. And that's very random, as you can see, very jagged, and there's a it'll suddenly come together. And the further up you go, you might think, oh, it looks a bit ugly, but there you go. I just went up around all the branches, and it just gives a good random look. You can see things are random. There's a few bits here and there that I'd want taken off, like that bit that's sticking out. Just tidy it up a little bit if you don't like something, like that. But really, it doesn't matter too much, because the more random these things are, the more natural it looks. There we go. I'm quite pleased with that, so I can then think about moving on to putting in lights on the tree, because that's always the next thing you do after you put up your tree. You put on the lights. So I won't be completely decorating this so it's like tinsel and things. I've done it before where I've used cobwebs as tinsel and just blocks as tinsel, and it can get a bit too much. So lights on a tree and maybe a few decorations here and there, but don't go too crazy. Once you got those lights, then your tree's going to look really nice. So I do blocks of glass, red, green, and yellow, my favourite Christmas colours, of course. You can do any colours you want if you want, but I suggest try and stick to 3 colours, 2 main colours, and another colour to go with it. And instead of the end rods, I put in the lanterns, and I think that looks a lot better. I thought the end rods would look like candles, but then I thought, no, it doesn't look quite right. So I put in these lanterns, and I really like that look. So carrying on with that, quite simply a lantern on top of every glass block I place, and I just go around the tree, randomly placing these red, green, yellow blocks, trying to keep plenty of red in there, because that is my predominant colour. That's the what I want to stand out, and it goes nicely against the green. But the red and the yellow, and then a few green. You don't want too many greens in there, because it looks a lot like the yellow, and you don't want it to be too samey. So yeah, I would say a lot more red, or if you're going to have more red than yellows than greens. And yeah, you could do something like um, a grey and a blue, or grey, blue and white, something like that as your tree. And if you're going to do that, perhaps think about using your soul lanterns. That would look lovely if you're going to do a blue kind of tree. That would be really nice. Uh, Tell me what kind of colours you go for. But I would suggest try and not do too many colours. Stick with colours that complement each other, and think about how Christmassy it's going to look. But there we go. As I'm getting close to the top now, I just fast forwarded it. You don't need to see me place every single one of these. Just randomly space it out, and that is pretty much all about this tree. Keep things random. And then I just add in a little star. It took me a while to get this shape of this star, but I basically did a cross both sides, and then did a couple of diagonals sticking out of the cross. I thought it needed a bit more light, so I just go around and put in some end rods here just to light it up. Okay, and that is the star done. It's quite difficult to do a star, because you want it to have the right shape, but you don't want it to go too big. But I think that's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. And as we go back and see how the whole tree looks, it fits quite nicely. A big star on top of the tree. There we go. And it looks good from every angle. And that is you could finish it there if you wanted to, and just go around, chuck in a few bits and pieces where you think could do with a bit more. But yeah, if you wanted to end that there and say that is my tree, that is a center point, you could. But what I want to do is I want to decorate around the tree as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building some presents, But first I want to put a few more decorations around the tree. And I've decided just to put bells. Um, this will look really nice. Uh, so underneath the tree, I'm going to be putting in some moss blocks where I can attach a bell to, because you can't attach a bell to a leaf. So it's my recommendation to throw in some moss blocks just to attach some bells to, and it won't look out of place. You might even want to throw in a few ran lighter colour leaves, different coloured leaves, just to give a different look. But I like to stick to one colour. I know a lot of people like to mix up colours just to give a bit more of a texture to builds, but that's not my style. That's not how I build things. I like to stick to one colour and trying to build up a good look with the details. But it's to everyone's style. I know a lot of people like doing all sorts of things, like different textures and checking in different things. But yeah, that's not how I do it. But now I'm just going to throw in. It started snowing, and I thought it looked nice with snow on top of the leaves, so I started throwing in some snow around the leaves. But what I forgot to think about is that the lights are going to melt that snow eventually, and I don't know. I don't know whether I wanted it. In some places, the snow stayed. I think it melts 2 blocks away from a lantern. Uh, so there are some blocks that didn't melt, and it looks quite nice in the end. Some random bits of snow, but it didn't have the effect that I wanted to go for as it is now, where there's lots of snow everywhere. But it still added a nice effect once things melted anyway. So now, um, what's next is I'll throw in a few presents under the tree, because I've left a nice big space underneath, and the reason I set it a couple blocks higher as well is so I could put some presents underneath the tree. So I've gone for some wool. I'm going to use wool as presents, and just use some Christmassy colours, some reds, some greens. I've got blue in there, some whites, and a few other colours as well. I think a magenta in there just to complement the blues and whatever colours you're using. Don't stick to just the one or the colours you're using. Like I'm using the red, green, yellow. Don't just stick to those colours. Stick to some different colours, and it'll really make your presents stand out, because that's what you want to see, some nice presents under a tree. Uh, so using some different shapes or different size shapes, oblongs and squares, I'm going to be making some presents all around the tree, some quite large ones, and I'll throw in a few single blocks here and there as well. If you're using the Christmas texture pack, then you're lucky enough to have some blocks. I think it's the concrete blocks, the glazed concrete that comes up as actual Christmas presents. I can't remember. I have used that texture pack before, but yeah, if not, it doesn't matter. You can make your own presents as I'm doing now. Just getting some nice different colours. I thought about using green, but then I decided against it and go with the blue. Just throw in a little bit of decorations for bows and things. You can't go too crazy. You don't really need to. It's just, oh, I missed a block on down there. Look, put in a yellow. There we go. And just decorate up however you feel like. And there we go. And that's a start. So I'm just going to continue going around this tree, putting in more and more presents, different shapes, different sizes, and just keeping things different. A little smaller one here. I think I put in some green along the top there. There, that's nice. Just thinking how to decorate it up. Do I put a bow in there? Maybe something like that. That'll do fine. And yeah, now I'm just going to show you how I done all the presents around the tree. Lots of different ones. I had to decide what sort of shapes I wanted. But yeah, it's a bit dark now. Like I always say, I try to make things looking nice at night as I do in the day. So I'm going to throw in a few shroom lights, one of my favourite lights. And I'll throw in a few of those on the floor to act as presents, but also as lighting at the same time. And just so it doesn't look a bit weird, I'll put in some amethyst, I think it is, and some gold as well. I've put in gold blocks, and you'll see later how I put it all in together. And I didn't realise that the amethyst grows amethyst shards on it, and that gives it quite a nice look, and kind of like jagged presents around. It gives a nice look to something more than these square boxes everywhere. Was quite pleased with using the amethyst, or amethyst, should I say? Yeah. So just light all this up with these shroom lights. Keep it random, and once again, the lights melt the snow. And so, if you're going to do a snow scene, I suggest use snow as a flooring, or snow blocks, I mean, not snow covered. In the end, I pretty much take away all of the grass and all of the mud and turn it into snow, because snow keeps melting whenever I put lights down. So just use snow blocks as a floor, and then you can change it out later if you want to. So that's something I would suggest that I wish I did from the start. So I'm going to throw in a few of these gold blocks they have now. That'll work nicely. We might get a stand back in a minute, get a look at it. There we go. And nicely filled up. There we go. Quite pleased with that. Lots of presents under the tree. I'm going to put a fence all around there, just a basic fence all around the inside. But I'm going to do an outer fence, and more elaborate one, which will be a nice place for you to go in and look at the tree when you're running around on the ground. But there we go. That's all done. Once again, you could finish it there. You could say, there we go, that's done. That's my Christmas tree finished. But no, not me. I'm going to be doing this more elaborate fence that's going to follow all the way around. So I'm just going to come up with a design, and I strongly recommend, if you're going to come up with a design, make sure you are really happy with the design before you follow it all the way around. If you're going to do what I'm doing and do a few sections, and then stand back, take a look at it. But what would be really annoying is if you wanted to change something later on and you'd already gone all the way around. As you'll see, I do change things. I'm not happy with a look and I change it. So I'm glad I tested on a few of these sections first, and then got exactly how I wanted the fence to look before I continued all the way around. And you'll see the changes. These fences I'm putting in now, I don't like the look of them, and I turn them into a black stone wall, and I think that looks really nice when I get to doing that. It really sets off that acacia wood with a black, and it's a really good contrast. So we're going to carry on here. I'm just going to put in another section here. And I think if you put in 3 sections, if you're going to do the similar sort of thing, I'd always say don't copy me, but it'll give you good ideas of what to do. Come up with your own designs using stairs and blocks. Um, Stairs are great to come up with little designs for fences. So I suggest messing around with them, doing them at different angles, and fences, walls. They all have good depth to it, different kinds of depths. Um, and there, as you see, these black stones are going in now, and I really like the difference in colours here. It won't be complete yet, but it's starting to take shape. I got the original look of what I wanted, this 3 wide section, or 5 wide, should I say. And then I started developing more of a better look that I liked. So we're going to change these up again. Yeah, that's coming on okay. Still not perfect. Still lots of things I want to change, like this here. That was too harsh, that like those lines there, as you see. Putting in those stairs makes it look a lot better. And we'll just do them sticking out there. It almost gives it a little Japanesey feel, almost Tory Arch look. I didn't intend that, but I suppose it does look a little bit like that. And there, it's sort of coming on really nice. I'm quite pleased. It's not there yet. There's still some changes I want to make. Like this is a bit too harsh. So I put in one of these walls here. It breaks up that colour, and I think that's really nice. Put in the bell underneath. I think the bell really gives it a good Christmassy look. And don't forget to put in the stairs underneath as well. So now I just wanted to join this bit here up here, and I thought, yeah, I'll decorate it up with a item frame, and then I can decide to put in some sort of Christmassy thing in here. So I put in these ferns. I thought that might look nice, and then turn them round, and yeah, that looks a bit like mistletoe. So I think that'll go in nicely. And then later on, I put in some berries as well, and I alternate between the upside down ferns and the berries, and I think it gives it a really nice look, Christmassy look, with the reds and the greens in these item frames. You'll see that later on as we go. And by the way, these item frames are the ones that light up. I can't remember exactly what they're called now, but they're the ones that light up. And now I thought I put a bit of flowering azalea. I really like these. I wish they were red, but unfortunately there's only the pink ones. But I think that goes really nice, and it really breaks everything up and gives it a real nice Christmassy decorative look. Uh, so I've decided just a straight line so it's not too busy. There's a lot going on there, so I just keep it nice and simple. Straight line going across. And I think we're pretty much happy with the design I've come up with. What do you think of the design of this wall? Um, it could go any way, and it's all freestyle, so you just don't know how things are going to turn out. But I'm quite pleased with that. Oops, not there. And we'll just put another one there. And then all we're going to do is follow that all the way around. But now I want a gateway. This isn't a wall, this is a gateway. So I've gone one larger just to make it different from the other sections. One wider, and then I've gone higher slightly as well. But I'm going to follow the same sort of theme as the walls, but just change it slightly. So this is all the same. I'm going to be putting, just come up with a little design of these. Oh, not there. That was wrong. I will change that out again. But mess around with it, see what you think. I decided this wasn't quite right for me, so I changed that out a little bit. But for now, that's okay. Something like that. No, it needs something different here. So I do that. That's not quite right. Try another way. Oh, I like that. That gives it a nice look. Yeah. And then the bell goes in. The flowering azalea. Same as before. Straight line. All the way across. And there. I haven't changed out that stair that I done wrong yet. I wonder if I actually did. I hope so. Put in some of these. And I eventually changed those bottom blackstone ones because I didn't like it on the floor. So I put the acacia blocks on the floor, and then the second layer up, I just did the blackstone, and I preferred that. Cracking a couple there. Okay, so now when it got dark, I thought it needs lighting up again. Of course, it's getting very dark. I've got no lights around. What am I going to do with lighting? So I put in a few torches. I don't like things sticking out. It's getting very busy, this wall. So I thought incorporate a light into the wall. So once again, my favourite shroom light. I don't know if it's my favourite. I use it a lot though. And I put it into the wall. The bottom of these uprights, I just put in some shroom lights, and then I'll decorate it on the outside. And I've decided use the acacia again, so it just follows well. And then we'll just put in some trapdoors, just to break up that harsh change. And there, that follows in nicely there, giving you light, but also sticking to that acacia look. So on every upright at the bottom, I will put in a shroom light and then cover it with the trapdoors, the acacia trapdoors. Beautiful. You could have done something different. Maybe I don't know. Don't know what you could have changed it with, but you could have done something. But try not to go too busy with things. It can get a little bit messy if you try and do too much. Try and stick to like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 colours. Have 2 main colours, and then maybe throw a little splash of other colour in there. But don't go too much with different colours, and then it'll look quite nice then. So I will be doing in the back as the same as the front. I'll be putting in the item frames as well at the backs, so it all looks the same. Look very nice. But there, that pretty much now I can follow around the whole build of the wall. Just follow this all the way around the edge. A kind of a random circle, but something that goes all the way around the edge. And there we go. That looks nice. And then on the inside, I just throw in some candy canes around, a few more presents on the outside. As you see, that acacia fence went in around the inside there. I think that all looks quite nice. I've put in a few grass paths, just so it doesn't get covered in snow, and gives you a little bit of a pathway like people have been walking around in the snow. I think that looks nice. And then I also built in on the gateways. I've extended them outwards. I've done 3 gateways following down and joined them all together. So just finishing off some bits and pieces, making it all look nice. And there, that's finished. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's a good look. That all comes in, that all ties in nicely. A few bits and pieces I've missed. Go around your build, check You haven't missed anything. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and I hope you've enjoyed this as well. And hopefully you can come up with your own ideas. I'd love to know what sort of ideas you've come up with. I've said before in my last video, follow me on Discord. It's in the link in the descriptions below, and let me know what you've done. Show me some pictures. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.